Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Kyle from the TF Review, and welcome to a very special edition of Megazord Monday. In today's episode, we're taking a look at the brand new Power Rangers Dino SuperCharge Plesio Charge Megazord. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy this video review. Alright, another white-on-white review. Hopefully this will turn out not terrible. Before we look at the Plesio or Plesio, depending on who you are and where you're from, Megazord, we're going to first take a look at the included charger. Now, the Plesio Megazord is the main Megazord for the Purple Ranger, and it does come with the standard Dino charger. It's done in the clear translucent plastic that all the other Megazord chargers have come with so far, and it's got that great little animation. So, we're going to go ahead and we're going to hear the sounds on this bad boy. Alright, and here we have the Plesio Charge Megazord in his Plesio Flight rocket ship mode. And this is the type of auxiliary Megazord that I really like. I like ones that are big and hefty and plasticky and chunky and parts formery. I just think those are the most fun. And this does all of that. So far, I'm really enjoying it. It's a fairly generic space mode. I don't think it really resembles the Plesiosaurus all that much. It looks just more like a ship. And it rolls really well. It does have a gimmick right here in the mouth where if you open him up and you put the Dino charger in the mouth, and yes, push it forward, it does spring a little missile. The gimmick is really not that great compared to the Terra Charge, but it's there, and if you want it, it does add a nice little play feature. And to remove the charger, there is a little thing down here. You just take it, push it forward, take it out of the mouth, close that, and you're done. In terms of detail, I do have to say, while it is missing quite a bit of paint apps in the ship mode, it doesn't bother me. I think the sculpted detail on this is really strong and really good. I feel like it doesn't need to be covered with paint, and it really doesn't bother me in person as much as it does in photos. One unfortunate thing is right here. This is very loose compared to this side, which is a little bit more firm. This is loose. These connector pieces are also very loose. So I'm having a couple issues when transforming it, of stuff popping off really easy. A lot easier than other Megazords. And for a quick size comparison, here he is next to the Terra Charge Megazord. You can't even see it. There it is. We can see the Terra Charge Megazord. They're both similar in size, but this one I feel like it has a lot more girth and a lot more plastic. And yes, I just used girth to describe a toy. So all in all, it's a good size. It's a simple jet mode. I'm satisfied with it, really. And that's basically it. Now, to get him into his Megazord mode, we literally want to just completely rip this thing apart. So, to do that, we need to remove the head. Remove these, which will become the feet. Remove these, which will become the arms. Remove this little back plate, and remove that, which will become the head. And now we kind of have an armless, feetless torso. Now we want to take his arms. You can just fold these down. And we want to add these huge pieces to his feet. Make sure the black wings are to the side, and you'll notice there's a little peg and a little connector. Just take it. Yeah, I'll get it, don't worry. I got it. There we go. And we can split his legs as well. And do the same, add this foot to this side, and there you go. Then we want to take his arm pieces, and these just connect like that. Make sure the hands are facing out. Do the same, that's not an arm. Do the same on that and this side. And lastly, take his head, just lift this one little piece up, and that connects right there. Like that. And there we have the Plesio Charge Megazord. Oh wait. And lastly, of course I'm getting ahead of myself, and lastly there's this little back plate. This just connects back there. Okay, and there we have the Plesio Charge Megazord. And I do have to say he is a nice looking Megazord. I mentioned that the lack of paint didn't bother me in the jet mode, but in this mode it does. A little bit of paint right here on the legs to break up the sculpt would have really helped, because as of right now it just looks like a big kind of wash of white. And that doesn't look all that good when compared to the upper body, which actually looks really good. Now if you want, if you're not happy with his arm, you can just take this arm and take this and store the arm back there, which looks really stupid. And you can take the head, since there's nowhere to really store it, and just peg it in like that. And now he's got a gigantic arm. He faps way too much with his hand, man. You gotta divide it up evenly so you don't Popeye the Sailor Man. And this is a thing, so if you want, you can move his arm forward and back, rotate 360 degrees, can move in and out. The head can open and close and, you know, grab stuff and bite stuff. He does have a fair bit of feet articulation. Not without stuff falling apart. You can move the legs forward and back, in and out, but there's really like one detent, so it's kind of a pain in the butt. For a quick size comparison, here he is next to the SuperCharge Megazord. We can see he's a little bit bigger, and I do believe he is the tallest of the 3 Megazords that we've gotten so far. Now, if you want, you can combine him with the Dino Charge Megazord, more specifically just the T-Rex, to create what is, in my opinion, like the coolest thing ever. So, in order to do that, first thing we want to do is take the T-Rex and get him ready. And first thing is first, we need to get his legs all ready, make sure the little ball things are in. The little ball things are in. The ball things are extra important since the whole Megazord is basically resting on them. Fold these down. We can move that head. And we also want to take this black piece that came with the Plesio, and this actually covers up the arm port, which is kind of cool. And the instructions don't mention anything about removing the tail, so I just keep it in there. And that's how you pretty much prep the T-Rex Zord. So we can put this to the side. And essentially what we want to do is, for the most part, take this all apart. Remove that arm. Pull this off, take the feet, pull the feet off, take the head, pull the head off. And here we have kind of a weird looking torso thingy. Flip it around, fold these arm ports down, and then we can take the legs and split them and make sure this connector pegs in right there, and we can also turn his arms inward. And now this piece is ready. Next up, we want to take the feet of the Plesio Charge Megazord and just peg him into the bottom of the T-Rex. Like so. Do the same thing on this side. Ooh, whoa, whoa, calm down. I'm not even sure how much of this is getting on camera. Alright, and then peg that in. And now, Rexy is much, much taller, and he's about to get a lot taller. So, now you want to take this huge piece, and he'll just sit right on the head like this, and peg in like that. And I'm going to lower it so you can get a better view. Oh yeah, and you don't need to remove the arms. Here, I'll show you. You can actually keep the arms on. Just make sure they're flipped around. They go like this. I'll show you an alternative transformation. Ugh, can't talk. And now it looks like the little tubes are going into the thing. Okay, so next up we take the head of the Plesiosaurus, and this just pegs into this arm. And then you're supposed to take the Pachysord, but since I don't have a Pachysord, since I can't find one, I'm just going to use the Megazord. And that pegs into that arm. Then you want to take his head, like this. Need more light. Flip the head around. Oh, God. Flip the head around. And you'll notice there's a little head sculpt peeking out like that. And peg this onto the top. And for the sake of the review, I'm just going to remove the tail so I can push this guy back a little bit. And there we have him in his kind of like an Ultra Zord, but really sweet looking, massive Megazord form, combined with the Dino Charge Megazord. And this thing looks absolutely ridiculous. I love it. I love the heck out of it. For another quick size comparison, once again, here is the TerraCharge. You can see now this thing dwarfs over it. Dwarfs over it. And it just looks incredible. You do have a fair amount of articulation if you want, but it's so top heavy, it's not really useful. But the arms can rotate, and that's about it. Now I mentioned an alternative transformation. If you're not happy with the way these arms look, what you can do is just remove them. Sound like a Canadian. I cannot talk today. And what I like to do is I like to just push them back like that. And that is another way to kind of remove a little bit of excess bulk. And I dig the way these look kind of pointed downwards. So that's something else you can do. And honestly, that basically does it for the Placebo. I almost called it the Placebo Megazord. The Plesio Megazord. I really like this Megazord. I think it is everything you need from an auxiliary Megazord. It has a ridiculous combined mode. It's big and heavy and chunky, and it makes the T-Rex, makes Rexy look amazing. So, if you're a fan of Dino Charge, I can definitely recommend this Megazord. It's awesome. It's one of my favorite auxiliary Megazords we've gotten in a while. The lack of paint apps in the Megazord mode itself, it does look pretty bad. But in the ship mode, I think it's fine. And all in all, it's a solid entry to the Dino Charge Megazord line, really. So, that does it for this review, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at the TF Review, and I post Megazord reviews every Monday. So, with that said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.